happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and tutorial season has arrived, and I've got your back. And we're going to start out with timed finishing, brand spanking new to FIFA 19. If you want more of this good content, drop a thumbs up, support the channel, turn on notifications. I just got back from Berlin. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm pretty excited about FIFA 19. I liked what I experienced, and I have access to the full title. This is not off a demo. This is not off hearsay. This is my direct experience with the game. Pre-release, I appreciate that, EA, but that does not mean that I'm gonna have any sort of bias in my content. When things are good, then we're gonna talk about that. When they're suspect, they need work, we're gonna provide that feedback as well. And get in the comments down below, what type of video do you want to see uploaded next? Whether it's a tutorial, it's tips. If you have questions about the time finishing, I will do my best to get back to each and every one of you lovely folks. I've got squad builders, I've got packs, I've got tips, I got player reviews as well. I got access to some guys. Oh, serious business. Most importantly, what is the time finished and how do you incorporate this into your gameplay? Last year, remember, we had the double tap, the low driven. So EA's taken that exact same premise and now they've applied it to a timed finish, which gives you an additional bit of power. I don't know about accuracy, but definitely a bit more power if you time everything correctly. However, if you go a little too early when you're hitting that double tap, or you go a little too late when you're hitting that double tap, then it could offset everything that you're doing, and you're not just going to lose accuracy, you're also going to lose out on power, all of the above. It's not going to be a good process. If you've never touched a controller, you're going to use the shooting command here, and you're basically going to power up your shot, and then you're going to double tap once again when you feel like you're in that bread and butter zone. And the best analogy I can use is this is relatively similar to free kicks. The technique is the same, but the approach play is a little bit different. And in my opinion, from trying out a bunch of different timed finishing techniques, whether it was from short distance, from long distance, somewhere in between, off the bounce, off the volley, players have different approaches and different timing based on their size, how quick they are, and you just have to get used to how they're going to approach these shots. It's very similar to NBA 2K, where you have a release when you're shooting a jump shot. I think that's also a good comparison to what you can expect when you're using the timed finish. Just to summarize, because this is important, we are basically dealing with the double tap function from FIFA 18, and also try to envision the time finish as a similar technique to approaching free kicks. Let's start out with the good. What can you look forward to in terms of time finishing? And remember, this is my opinion based on playing this title over 3 days. I mean, I put in mad hours. I played a lot of games, don't get me wrong. But I just want to throw that out there because EA could make adjustments. They are taking our feedback into consideration when you're at a capture event. So what's good? You can score with players in areas that they might not be capable, or in positions that I don't know if their ability would allow them to do this. You're going to see an example where I have Balassi. It's on his left foot, and that's from distance, and I want to say it's on world-class difficulty. There's no way that he is naturally going to be able to strike the ball and score from that area on the pitch. It's just not in his stats, and it's not how the game would work. But with a perfectly timed connection, when utilizing the time finish, and it became an option. If you connect perfectly, you can count on a power increase. I know EA is stressing that there's an accuracy increase. I'm not sure that I'm a believer in that. I might be a little bit of a skeptic, but I do co-sign a noticeable power increase. If you hit it perfect, you're gonna know when it leaves your foot, whether it is that volley, it is that long shot. Pew! Also in this subcategory, I only recommend using the timed finish for volleys or for outside the box shots. Long shots in particular, I wouldn't bother with finesse shots. I think it makes them too complicated for no reason. And I also would not recommend this for finishing. It's just easier to go about finishing your 1v1s, whether you're using a low driven or you're using the finesse shot or just tapping it home with a normal power shot. The reason I don't feel like this is an asset in those areas is because if you completely mess up that shot, you get nervous, you mistime something, and you miss an opportunity that should be a sure thing. That's not good risk to reward. So what's the bad looking like? Just to reiterate, do not use this in the box. Safe rule of thumb. When I talk to the EA gameplay developers and the producers, They all agreed with me pretty much, saying, you could be right. It just doesn't seem more efficient in the box unless it is one of those volley situations where you want to go for the compilation. You want to go for the miracle. You want to make a moment. I do feel that the time finish will allow you to create moments and create highlights. However, from the pro end or the competitive end, it's all about consistency. And that's where you have this balance, where you're on the equilibrium. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And lastly, there's a glitch, and EA's aware of this glitch. I think a lot of the players at the capture event brought it up. But sometimes you side foot just randomly when you are going for a timed finish, and it's a complete waste of an opportunity. You're going to miss it every single time, and it's definitely a mistake in the game and needs to be fixed. I'll show you guys some examples on screen. And a lot of you have asked me on Twitter, Mike, are they just going to patch the game early on like usual? When I spoke to the EA guys in Berlin, they reassured me, and they said, look, we are not patching this game early on. We've done that in the past. This is not going to happen for gameplay this year. We're going to let it play out and kind of go from there. That's music to my ears because I hate when EA releases a new title and the game feels interesting, and then before you know it, they drop a patch and it feels like the previous installment of the title, and you're backtracking and you're not progressing, and nobody likes that. I want the game to feel different, and right now FIFA 19, it does just that. The last section I wanted to talk about is, what do you need to know? You still have to position your body. This is not a blind power shot that goes into the top corner. If you don't angle your body properly, it will not go in the back of the net. Know the player release. Remember, I keep stressing this. Know the player release. It's going to be important. It won't work if you've got the timing all offset. Trust. Shots can be blocked, so don't expect this to go through a wall or to go through the AI defending, even though I will say everything's felt a lot more manual offensively and defensively in FIFA 19, which is a good sign for potentially creating a skill gap. Last but not least, if you time your finish and it's on green, that does not mean that it's going to translate to a goal. It is not 100%. I would go as far as saying it's actually a small or an incremental increase in terms of the percentage of you scoring these goals. You saw a bunch of examples where I was in the skill games, and I decided I just wanted to do the skill games with normal shots, whether it's a finesse shot, a regular power shot, a volley. I didn't want to use the time finish to do some comparing and contrasting, and that's where I make this argument for consistency, and is this going to be measurable in terms of a good risk to a good reward? In summary, as we play more FIFA, we grind the title, that's going to indicate whether this is going to be extremely effective and it's worth putting into the arsenal, or if it's something that you move past, because you can turn off timed finishing if you go into settings. I want your feedback, and I know this was a different style of tutorial or tip video than usual because I just felt like we had so much information to cover regarding kind of what's happening with the time finish and what you can expect when you're playing the new title. I know you guys don't have it when this video is coming out, and I like to keep things very transparent with all of you that are watching, and I'm not sure if this is going to be in that category or not. I feel if I had to describe the time finish in one word, it would be situational. We are back in action. Welcome to FIFA 19. Trust, you should be excited. You should be hyped. I really enjoyed the capture event, not just because I was flown out there because EA said, hey, you want to play the title early, but because the title was fun. It brought back a lot of memories and good memories when I was looking at skill moves and the speed of play and the manual side of both attacking and defending. A lot of things were a good look, but I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP. Peace.